Since I have pretty limited time to practice and play on my kit, how do you manage your time to learn materials or practice concepts efficiently while on tour or at home? Is there a system that you follow, or do you just practice the first thing that comes to mind?
That's a good question, and I can tell you, when I was younger, I practiced much less than I do now. You know, I practiced playing songs, I practiced playing along with records and that kind of thing. To me, you can play along mentally with the things you want to work out. I mean, literally, if you can think very clearly, even about sticking and about things that you want to play, go through them in your mind, and if you can really focus in on that, it's almost as good as playing. It really does work. It is difficult on the road. I find that I get into a situation, what I call, do you know the word atrophy, where your muscles, you lose some muscle. So certain muscles are getting stronger because I'm playing 2 hours every night. But sometimes I forget mentally the quick access to things I know how to play, like complicated things. Those things sort of, they get blurry, and there's no real way to practice them. So I try to come into those situations prepared, musically having been playing as much as I can, and then I just do hand exercises. And the biggest exercise for me that keeps me clear is a Swiss triplet. You do this on a practice pad. I do it a lot of times. I do it on the arm cushion of a sofa, whatever I have available. And I don't even have to have my feet. I don't even have to have a practice pedal. But what I do is I just try to keep my hands in shape. And this is for clarity, just clarity of execution, right? So I play Swiss triplet. And if you guys know what a Swiss triplet is, it's the first and last note of a triplet in each hand, where the opposite hand is playing the phrase before, so you hear all three, but there's flams on two. I'll show you real quick. Keeping your hands clean, because you want to try to not hear flams and things. And you can hear that and feel that being on a cushion on the sofa. And with your feet, maybe you have to put a shoe on or something so that you can hear your foot drop, because you need to be able to hear it. And you can do that with sticks, a pair of sticks and a cushion on a sofa and your feet on the floor. As long as you can hear clearly the sticking when you're trying to keep them clean and no flams, that's a really good exercise. That's basically the only one I do, you know? So yeah.
There's a question here from online, but I'll rephrase it. So what's your thought process playing somebody else's drum parts? Like in this case, Toto. What's your thought process? Do you copy it? You make your own, like that?
Well, that's an interesting one. I find it different depending on the style of drummer that had played the recording. Because a lot of times in these situations, I'm on tour supporting an artist whose music has already been recorded. Sometimes I've recorded the music and I'm playing my own parts, but obviously with Toto and when I was with Donald Fagen, different people, I'm playing other people's drum parts. Song-oriented drummers that really play for the song, it's harder to change what they play without making the song not communicate as strongly, And Jeff Porcaro is one of the most difficult ones to deviate from. Where I have found the opportunities to modify a little bit are less about changing the notes in the part and just more about how hard I'm playing, or what style of approach I'm playing to it. So I'll show you, for instance, in Rosanna, and even Jeff did this live, but in Rosanna, The album is like more like this. It's pretty light, but and feathery in a great, amazing feel, you know. When we play it live, we play it more like this. It's a subtle thing on that particular song, but it's just a different intensity, you know. Those places, other drummers, when I found, so okay, we're playing, if anybody's coming to the show tomorrow, there's a song in the set that you may not recognize, but it wasn't Jeff on the recording, and I find it easier to push my voice very strongly into the interpretation of the song. So it really does have to do with the author, if you will, of the part. You know, some people, like when I played with Donald Fagen, and we would play Peg. You know the song Peg? You guys know the song Peg? That's a song, for me, that you don't want to deviate from the groove. And I'll show you what that one is, if you guys know that song or not. There's a couple ways you can play it. I'll show you the way Rick played it, best I can. And then I'll show you, you know, another way you can play it. But basically, the rhythm of the song goes bum 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 bum. What's that? Now, the first thing that's it's obvious in that phrase is so you play. Now, you can make that feel good. You can make that groove feel pretty good. But that's pretty ordinary. The way Rick played it was he put lots of space and the bass is going boom, 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 right? So he's doing some things with the hi-hat that's really unique. So for me, as a drummer, probably for all of us, is the reason everybody likes to play the Rosanna Shuffle. It's much more fun to play what Rick played. You know what I mean? It's not as easy by any means. It's much more difficult with the opening of the hi-hat with the foot and keeping the groove together with all those extra notes missing and keeping that upbeat accent the whole time. But that's much more fun to play. And when it's grooving, it's a much better feeling. So another thing I'll touch on right now while we got a second. That groove in particular, there's something complex going on there in the hi-hat. And it's how the pedal affects the beat. He's pedaling it. Let me see, I gotta figure it out because I just do it by instinct now. But complicated move because I'm playing 8 notes with my left foot, with the ball of my foot forward, And then on quarter notes, I'm opening by bouncing the heel.